Alright, hello everybody, it is I, Granorite, and here we are back with another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Leaf Green with our next team, which is going to be our second normal type team. As you can see, it's going to be Dunsparce, Togetic, Taillow, Slaking, and Exploud. So we're going to do what we always do in this first episode, read some Pokemon biologies, get the team up to level 8, take out our rival, and then get to Pewter City. So let's get started with Dunsparce. Has Serene Grace for its ability, so it gets a higher chance to get added effects for moves. Decent stats across the board. Currently knows Rage and Defense Curl. What do we know about Dunsparce? Well, Dunsparce is known as the Land Snake Pokemon. It stands 4 feet 11 inches tall, or 1.5 meters, and weighs 30.9 pounds, or 14 kilograms, and is a medium fast leveling rate Pokemon. Dunsparce is a serpentine and somewhat insectoid Pokemon with a primarily yellow body, blue underside, and blue and cream striped back. Its head is round with a wide mouth extending under its jowls and curving up towards the middle of its face. Its chin is blue with 2 rounded prongs. Its eyes, rounded rimmed with blue, are kept closed, revealing its cream-colored eyelids. On Dunsparce's upper back are 2 tiny wings. Its body ends in a drill-like tail. Dunsparce can float slightly with its wings, which some scientists believe were used to fly in the sky during ancient times. However, it avoids detection and flees when spotted by burrowing into the ground with its tail. It lives immobile in caves and beneath the earth, where it makes maze-like nests. They get along with Diglett and share tunnels with each other. Dunsparce can navigate through its nest without getting lost by the smell of dirt. According to the Pokology book, that's about Dunsparce, which we're not in this game. So, yeah, so that's what we know about Dunsparce. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Dunsparce. Fire Red says, if spotted, it escapes by burrowing with its tail, can hover just slightly using its wings. And Leaf Green says, when spotted, this Pokemon escapes backward by furiously boring into the ground with its tail. Next, we have Togepi, who also has Serene Grace for its ability. Good defense and special defense. Currently knows Metronome, Growl, and Charm. And what do we know about Togepi? Well, Togepi is known as a Spike Ball Pokemon. Stands 1 foot tall, or 0.3 meters. Weighs 3.3 pounds, or 1.5 kilograms. It is a fast leveling rate Pokemon. It'll evolve with high friendship into Togetic. Togepi is a small, light yellow Pokemon with a rounded, egg-shaped body. After hatching from its egg, Togepi's body remains encased in its egg shell. That shell has a white base color and rounded, mostly unfilled shape, with thick borders that are either blue or red. A dot on the side of its shells, or dot the sides of its shells. Sticking out of its eggshell, Togepi has stubby, rounded cone arms, round feet with 2 toes each. Togepi has thin black oval eyes with thin black arcs on their outer sides. Its head has 5 round-tipped conical spikes that seem to form a crown. It also has a semi-oval brown pads on the soles of its feet. In the Pokemon series episode, The Case of the Canine Caper shows that it can retract into its shell, which it usually does in sleep, and as mentioned in Pokemon Sleep, Togepi is known to roll around in its shell while sleeping. It is able to siphon the positive energy off others, storing that happiness in its shell, and then release it to those in need of it. The early trading cards state that Togepi is able to release poison from the spikes on top of its head, which is used to chase away enemies. It has a very joyful nature. As a result, it is said that it shares joy with those that take care of it. Because of its disposition, Togepi is seen as a sign of good luck, especially if a trader is capable of getting a sleeping Togepi to stand. Togepi's innocent smile is said to calm the soul. It is shown in the Pokemon series Diamond Pearl episode where no Togepi has gone before that Togepi can act very maliciously at times, causing havoc and bad luck to its enemies. In the Pokemon the series Ruby and Sapphire episode of Togepi Mirage, it is shown that when necessary, Togepi can fly or levitate despite lacking wings. Togepi are born within the Togepi paradise and appear to humans to spread kindness. It is rare in the wild, but can most commonly found in forests. After its mission of spreading kindness is complete, it will eventually return to the Togepi paradise. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Togepi, Fire Red says a proverb claims that happiness will come to anyone who can make a sleeping Togepi stand up. And Leaf Green says the shell seems to be filled with joy. It is said that it will share good luck when treated kindly. Next we have Taillow, which has Guts for its ability, so its attack increases if it's under a status effect. Knows Peck and Growl right now. Taillow is known as the Tiny Swallow Pokemon. Stands 1 foot tall, or 0.3 meters, and weighs 5.1 pounds, or 2.3 kilograms, and is a medium slow leveling rate. Will evolve into Swallow at level 22. Taillow is a small avian Pokemon with dark blue feathers, a red marking with pointed tips, stretches from its chest to its forehead, and it has a white underside. It has narrow brown eyes and a short yellow beak. It has elongated wingtips and black feet with yellow talons. Each foot has 3 toes facing forward and 1 backward. 2 sharply pointed feathers form its tail. Taillow is very gutsy and will stand up to powerful opponents without backing down. During the cold season, this Pokemon will fly over 180 miles or 300 kilometers per day to search for areas that have warm climates. Typically hunts Wurmple, but flocks have also been shown eating crops. In the Pokemon Chronicles episode Were No Angels, when it is hungry, it will weaken and cry loudly. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Taillow. Fire Red and Leaf Green both say it dislikes cold seasons. They migrate to other lands in search of warmth, flying over 180 miles a day. Next we have Slakoth, which has Truant for its ability, which is, of course, what it has, so it only does stuff every other turn. No Scratch and Yawn right now. Good defense, good attack, good special defense. Slakoth is known as the Slacker Pokemon. Stands 2 foot 7 inches tall, or 0.8 meters, and weighs 52.9 pounds, or 24 kilograms, and is a slow leveling rate Pokemon. Will evolve into Vigoroth at level 18 and Slacking at 36. Slakoth is a brown quadrupedal Pokemon with sloth-like qualities. It has coarse, shaggy fur with 2 dark brown stripes on its back. There's a scruff of fur on top of its head and a large pink pig-like snout, pink eyelids, and dark rings around its eyes. It has long, lanky arms but shorter legs. Each claw has 2 sharp claws, and there are pink paw pads on the back of its feet. Its underbelly and rear are also pink. Slakoth lolls around and sleeps for more than 20 hours a day, which can make those around it drowsy. Since it does not move very much, it does not need much food and only eats 3 leaves each day. Its heart only beats once a minute. In Generation 3, Slakoth was a signature move. It makes its nest in tropical forest and keeps this same one during its entire life. However, it can travel far by swimming in rivers. As mentioned in the Sleep Style decks, Drowsy Power is the only thing that makes Slakoth move in order to sleep near Snorlax. Prior to Generation 5 and Generation 9, Slakoth and its fully evolved Slacking were the only Pokemon that could have Truant as an ability. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Slakoth, Fire Red and Leaf Green says it sleeps for 20 hours a day, making drowsy those that see it as one of its abilities. And last but not least, we have Whismur, which has soundproof for its abilities, so it can't be hit by sound-based moves. Good attack, knows Pound and Uproar right now. Whismur is known as the Whisper Pokemon. Stands 2 feet tall, or 0.6 meters, weighs 35.9 pounds, or 16.3 kilograms, and is a medium slow leveling rate Pokemon. Will evolve into Loudred at level 20, and Exploud at level 40. Whisper is a mauve bipedal Pokemon with a spherical body. Its eyes are black and shaped like plus signs. It has a simple wide mouth. 2 small openings on top of its head act as its ear canals. Covering its ear canals are long yellow-tipped flaps resembling rabbit ears. It has stubby arms and yellow-tipped feet that lack toes and have plus-shaped markings underneath. Above its small plug-like tail is a yellow crescent marking, and there's a hole in the center of its tail. Whismur are a timid species, being easily frightened by loud noises. Whismur's murmurs are barely audible, but when it senses danger, it lets out an ear-splitting cry as loud as a jet plane taking off. The cry of a Whismur is about 100 decibels and can cause an all-day headache should anyone hear it. Startled by its own cries, it will cry louder. When it finally stops crying, it will fall asleep from exhaustion. Because it breathes through its ear canals, it can cry continually. However, it will stop crying if its ear covers are shut. Whismur lives in caves. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Whisper. Fire Red and Leaf Green Pokedex both say it usually murmurs but starts crying loudly. If it senses danger, it will stop when its ear covers are shut. And that's what we know about Whismur. So as always, we got a couple Pokemon that we need to catch as well for our Pokedex so we can get the leftovers. We also need to start getting the team up to level 8. Probably shouldn't use Dunsparce, and that would be why. Alright, there's our Pidgey. And our Rattata. We also would like to get a Spearow and a Mankey. If I can find one. And Mankey's just going to go down. Let's swap to Whismur here really quick. Okay. I mean, we want to attack on Whismur anyways. I just thought that was going to survive another pound, and then it didn't. There's our Spearow. And there's our Mankey. Excellent. Alright, show us how to catch Pokemon, even though we just caught 4 Pokemon. Weedle. Oh, almost got it. There we go. No. I'll swap you. Stay in the Pokeball, Metapod. Guess if we need to, we can always yawn it down with Slakoth. Alright, there we go. There's our Pikachu. So all we're missing is a Kakuna. Rollout was good, but then we only hit 1. Sad. Volt Tackle. Alright. Good flamethrower. We'll rage against the Caterpie. Still looking for a Kakuna. Well, I don't actually want you to take on Metapods. Caterpies are what I want you to take on, Dunsparce. Really just have you up front looking for that Kakuna. Alright, let's go heal. Aha! Let's also put it to sleep. Yay! One more Caterpie for Dunsparce. Then we'll also go fight some Mankeys with it and get some attack. Alright, let's swap Togepi up again. No. Crush Claw. Very nice. Bounce. Alright. Good choice. Foresaw an attack. Took it down before it went off, but it's still nice. Oh, that was not the big move we needed. Spikes does nothing for us in wild fights. Let's use Slakoth for a bit. Want defense. Looking for some cocoon Pokemon. There we go. Good crits. Come on, one more Metapod or Kakuna. We can get up to level 6. There we go. I'm not going to yawn it because it's not going to be worth it because it'll probably just shed skin it off as our luck usually goes. Come on. It doesn't matter where we run around at to find these. For some reason, my mind is always like, oh, the cocoons will be closer to the trees. Has no bearing on it. Just makes me feel better. One more should get Slakoth up to level 7. And then the only other Pokemon I want to finish leveling up in here is Togepi. We'll go get some attack stats on Slakoth as well. Beat up on some Mankeys. Oh, I learned Encore. Excellent. Alright, so let's swap Togepi up. Let's go heal. Almost done here. The rest will go a lot faster against Mankeys and other stuff. Really, us having to wait on the metronome is probably the biggest issue. Sacred Fire! Good job, Togepi. So do absolutely nothing. Stockpile does nothing. Horn Drill, just straight up one-hit KO. Very nice. Sometimes you get lucky. What can I say? We'd fight Caterpies too if I could run into them. There we go. Leer, Tail Whip, same thing. Slack off. Magic Coat does nothing. Wish, we're gonna heal if we're still alive. Crunch, some damage. Petal Dance, alright. Needed just one more. Maybe we'll just do a swap in and out. Finish out Togepi. Alright. Go to this other route and beat up on a whole bunch of Mankeys. Grab this potion while we're at it. Nice. Back off, Rattata. Oh, one more. Excellent. Go to Dunsparce next. Rage. One more should do it for Dunsparce. We'll do Whismur next. Now, Uproar does more damage than Pound does. We are fine with speed or attack on Whismur and Taillow, so we'll just beat up on Rattatas and Mankeys. Have this go a little faster. Very nice. Couple more fights. Oh, just one more. Alright, and we learn Quick Attack. Very nice, Taillow. Alright, it's time to go beat up on our rival. We'll go Bird v Bird to start things out. Taillow versus Pidgey. At least our Slakoth sprite will get smaller once it evolves into Vigoroth. But I remember both Slakoth and Slacking having big sprites. Maybe Slacking didn't, but I don't... there's just several of them that just seem to have big sprites for some reason in Link. Aha! Good job getting around the sand attack. Charmander. Let's go to Whismur. Sporting that neon green. Good critical hit. We are superior. Quit dawdling, it says. Who's dawdling? Alright, through the forest. Back. Down. Let's go to Dunsparce. Always got a weird spot in my heart for this little bitty odd Pokemon. I remember getting Dunsparces all the time whenever I had gold. Don't know why. Something about that little bitty guy. Keep you going. You still got the uproar going. Nice. Alright, let's see if Togepi can take out this Kakuna. That's a little damage with some residual. It's not gonna... Well, I guess we got higher defense. One hit KO again! Not often we can pull that off. Rage through a Caterpie. Let's see if Togepi can take this one down. Okay, that's a special attack. Doesn't do a lot of damage though. 4 hits is pretty good though. Guillotine Nest. Magic Coat does nothing. Harden doesn't do anything for us. Baton Pass. Over to Dunsparce, I guess. Let's go heal to get back Togepi's metronomes. Get up to this next trainer. Let's see if Togepi can take down this Caterpie. Alright, well that just heals us back off. It's the second time that Togepi's tried to use Slakoth. Of course, I guess it's pulled Horn Drill twice. Solar Beam, okay. Interesting choice. Ingrain, okay. Water Spout's a good choice. But now the problem is we can't switch Togepi out because it's ingrained. Frozen Solid. Go Horn, okay. Seismic Toss for 9 damage. Takes itself out in Confusion. Good deal. Grab that potion, and then we'll grab this potion. One final Weedle here. Alright, well. There's still... Let's go take on the trainer before Brock. We'll get this free Pokeball here. Does he start with... We'll put Slakoth up front. I can't remember if he starts with the Sandshrew or the... We'll go to Togepi. Good choice. Hit power. See if we can also take out the Sandshrew here. Alright. Icy Wind's good. Bounce again. Foresight. Down it goes. Cool. Alright, so now we will end the episode. So we'll be back tomorrow with more Pokemon. We do hope you all enjoyed this episode today, and we'll see you all next time. Take care, everybody.